What's up guys, Puzzleman here. I'm still on the quest to figure out what color I want to dip my car next. With all these different chameleons and pearls that you can mix together that are out, I'm kind of at a loss. I have a good idea as to what I want to do, but I'm really not going to decide until I'm done mixing and have used everything that I have. So you might have seen in my last video that I have a bunch of 5-ounce bags of pigment and a gallon of glossifier. So I'm going to finish mixing these together and doing a bunch of testing before I actually figure out what I want to do on my car. But first things first, I got to make this a little bit easier on myself when it goes to mixing. So what I've done is I've gone to Walmart and bought a case of mason jars and filled those up with Plasti Dip. So since one 5-ounce bag of pigment will treat up to 12 ounces of glossifier, got these jars, and on the side here you'll see they actually have, not sure if you can see, they have little marks to measure by. So here's my 12-ounce mark, and I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. And after I get all these mixed together and I have my jars full, then I'm going to take the jars and mix those together instead of trying to measure out each little bit and make 6 ounces at a time. So consider this. Instead of using a Sharpie to permanently mark your jars, which can be used anytime, try peeling the label off the bag itself. That way when you're done with the jar, you can peel the label back off and use it for something later after you've cleaned it out. Now, one of the last things you want to do is go ahead and take another mason jar and put you a little bit of thinner in there. This way you can clean your mixer or stir stick or whatever you have in between dipping from different jar to different jar, so you don't have any color mixes going on.
This isn't nothing, baby, don't believe a word.
Now at this point, before you move on, take the time to wipe any kind of residue or overspilled Plasti Dip off of the thread of your jars. You will thank me, because if you put those lids back on and they're still dipped when it dries, it is hell getting it back off of there. I got my speed shapes here, and I've went ahead and done all of the basic primary colors that Plasti Dip sells, not really getting into any kind of eccentric colors. And I just really want to see what this looks like on every different color. So let's throw this copper down and see how it looks on all these different shades here. So these are the 6 speed shapes that I had in the beginning, and really the one that stands out to me the most is the red. But here with the red, it has a different shade than the rest of the coppers. Now, granted, when you make a copper color like this, whatever base you have, the color may not always show through, but you definitely can tell the difference in shades because of the coat underneath. Yeah, with all the colors that I had, it seems like they've all turned out to be either a light or a dark copper, but the red definitely turned out to be the most unique. So, kind of a cool discovery. The copper really isn't my look, and I'm pretty confident that if you use just regular pigments in this, you would probably came out with a brown. So, yeah, that was a cool color. I'm just going to have to keep on looking, guys. Alright guys, so yesterday's project was cool. I mean, granted, the copper is not cool for me, but to each their own, and I'll never bash anybody for their own personal taste. But before I end this video, I wanted to show you one thing. This jar was radiant red, and it sat overnight. Now, this is why it's important, if you're going to do gallons of this at a time, that you mix it between each and every coat. You don't let this settle. This is after one day of settling. You can see that all of the pigments have settled to the bottom. Now granted, it's easy, shake it up, and it'll mix right back up for you. But I did want to throw that little bit of information in there for you. So I'm going to look at what I have left. In next video, I'm going to mix up 2 different colors and see what that comes out to be like, and maybe it'll come out to be something that I like. But as of right now, the quest continues, guys. See you next video.